So now it's time to make sourdough. My ferment is prime ready. With flour, bit of spelt, bit of malt, my salt and water. That's all you need to make sourdough. Very simple. The first thing I'll do is put my bowl on my scales, press 0, and I'll put my ferment in there, the water on the top, and then the rest of the ingredients. So I need 400 grams of ferment for this. Oh, it smells delicious. It's 390. Again, if you have 10, 15 grams extra, don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine. Move this out of the way. So ferment is in here. And put the water over the top. Put my spelt flour. And the malt powder. Keep the salt aside. We're going to put the salt halfway through mixing. And then our strong white flour in here. Then we put the bowl on. Dough hook. So my water was cool water. Not hot, not warm, just cool. And the mixer goes on slow speed. I'm going to mix the whole sourdough on the same speed. I don't want too much air into it. I want it to be nice and light, but not, I don't want to work it too hard in the mixer. So what I'm doing there is mix everything together. When it's all nice and together, in about 5-6 minutes, we add the salt. And about 5-6 minutes later, the dough should be all together, and we finish it off by hand. We're good. So again, what we're going to learn now is you can't put that sticky dough into a bowl just like that. We need to give it a bit of shape and strength. So take my dough off. Look at this beauty. It's like an octopus. So you can see the dough there. Feels sticky, but look at the magic of this technique. A few flicks and already your dough has got a nice shape. Less sticky. So work it a bit. I skim the dough on the table. So I spin it around. If I go this way, on the top, and if I go this way, I go under and work it out. But look at this. So my top stays on top. My top now doesn't stick. Underneath, it's a bit more sticky. So it's control that, control your dough. So this way, move your legs, walk with your dough. And it's by giving you that control all the time. So now with the rest of the dough, I'm going to put a tiny bit of, you can use white flour, a bit of spelt, very fine dusting. Spin the dough over. Here we go. Look at this. How beautiful that dough is. It's alive. Look at the pocket. So now the dough's got to rest. We leave it rest for an hour and a half. I'll see what it's like. And then it will start to puff up. It will start to rise. And then we're going to give the dough a turn. I will explain that to you at the same time. Beautiful. So I give that dough another hour. And again, you can see there's more fermentation going in. So we're going to give another turn to that dough. Same again as what we did. Tiny bit of flour, stick the scraper on the side, and turn it over itself, so we never lose your top. fine dust in the flour. Look at this, beautiful. And then tuck the dough in with your scraper all the way down. And turn the dough over itself. Flip it. Okay, last fold. Tuck it in. That's ready. 45 minutes, 1 hour now, and then we divide it, and I'll show you how to shape also. Right now, it's time to make our sourdough. What I mean by that, we're going to divide the dough, pre-shape it, flour basket, shape the dough, and put it into the basket. So let's get on with it. Look at this now. Our dough, nice and strong. I'm going to flour the table a little bit, turn the dough in, turn the dough over. Bit of flour. Use my scraper. Again, tiny bit of flour there, so it doesn't stick to my hand. Look at this, beautiful. Go around the bowl. And remember our top. We're going to keep our top. The top of our sourdough will be the same top as this. So tip the dough over, like so. And then I'm just going to degaz the dough slightly and give it a fold like that. So my top is reappearing in here. And fold this one over the top. Look at this. How exciting is this? I'm always excited about bubbles. Amazing. Turn it over. So I know the size I want. I'm going to show you which basket we're going to do. We're going to do the classic sourdough in basket and then the long shape version. But I'll show you how to flour them in a minute. So that's about take 1.2 kilo of dough, and this one about just 600. So I'm going to weigh the small one first. So to divide the dough, remember my top is in here. I'm going to use my scraper. My left hand is like a scale. So I know about 600 grams what it should be. It's roughly just in here. So I'm going to go there and squeeze that dough in. You can see the sticky side in here. So try not to put your finger in there. Just leave it there. Use your scraper to move the dough. Tuck it all in on the scale. 600, perfect. And then this one should just be the right weight too. 1.2 exactly. Here we go. So there are two shapes in here. You don't want to be too harsh with it, just leave them like that. What I'm going to do now is to bench rest it, we call it. It's just a very, very simple shaping like that. Just tuck it in, bit of flour underneath, and then leave them rest like that. That's all you need to do. Just there, gentle tuck. Is there. Look at this. Beautiful dough. Go to our basket. When you shape your sourdough, or any dough to go into a basket, you need to have the nice tension on your dough so the smooth side doesn't stick to the basket. Enough flour, but not too much also. So the way I'll do it, I'm going to use a bit of spelled flour in here. Go around from the center and go round and round and round, like that. So a little bit of flour everywhere, not big lumps stuck everywhere. Just like that, and that's enough. If your dough is shaped properly, it won't stick to the basket. For the long ones, the same. Start there and go around. So when the dough is shaped, we put it in the basket. Then we'll let them rise and proof for about 3 or 4 hours ambient. So my dough has been resting for a good 10 minutes now. I'm ready to shape the dough. So I'm going to take my time and show you how to shape those two different, the boule, traditional boule, and the long bâtard, we call it. So let's start with the boule in here. Always move the dough with your scraper. Little flour. My top is in here. I want my top to be under to proof the dough overnight. Travel, little flour underneath. And then we're going to fold the dough over my thumb. There, and bring all the corner in. Just there. Bring all the sticky side together, then close everything down, like so. So my top is in here, and I put it down into my basket, and my seam is there. For the long one, little flour, again with my scraper. Top, turn upside down. My seam is there. And this, I'm going to do a very simple shaping. I take the corner, fold them in like so, press in the middle in my spine, fold this over the top, turn it around and do the same this side, there, and this over. Press in the middle, so everything is there. Seal the two edges together. You can hear the air clacking. Gentle, gather together. This is just seal. And my top is back on top now. The flour, lift into the basket. So our shape bowl in here and our batter shape in here. Put my brush. So I got some semolina in here, just a tiny bit, not too much. So you will slide the dough nice and easy. So start with the bowl. So don't drop them, just put your hand there like a buffer and then turn it over like that. The dough doesn't stick. Give it a gentle rub so the excess flour fall over. Beautiful. You can use a brush, take the excess. So all the flour on the peel will burn in your oven, so take the excess off. So I'm going to show you two very simple cuts. One is a continuous round like that. Another one, little flicks all over the place. So the first one, I use my fingers as a guide in here. My blades like this. I'm going to go round in here and use the corner of that blade in here at 45-degree angle like that. So that skin coming up all the way. Not like so, just angle down. And then in a continuous manners, just cut, move your legs all the way down. This one, I'm going to cut all the way down in here, turn the blade the other way, bit more skill this way, and turn the blade again this way, and finish this way. So let's do that. Put my hand there, and then there. So two simple cuts on our sourdough. So now put them in the oven. My oven is preheating at 230, really hot, because there's a lot of dough going to it, and that will suck up the heat in your oven. So you need your oven to be really hot to start with, and then we turn it down halfway through baking with a lot of steam. So in your oven we go. They're in. And so at that time where we become very impatient to see what's going on in the oven, we just wait and let the dough do its job. Let the steam do its job. So the steam will soften the top of your crust, and then the gas will expand. Hopefully you get the beautiful ears on top, and the magic will happen. So cross fingers now. We're gonna leave it there for 10-15 minutes at a high temperature so the oven will recover, and then we turn it down. The bigger the bread, the lower the temperature you got to go after that. Otherwise you're gonna burn, it won't be baked inside properly. So we'll have a look inside the oven in about 10-15 minutes. See you then. So we've seen the crust start to form now. My oven has recovered, which means, what I mean by recover, when you load your oven, it will drop in temperature. Recovering is when it goes back to temperature. It's been about 12 minutes now. So now I'm going to turn it down to 210 degree. You can see it goes off. The larger the loaf you bake, you drop your oven. Small loaf like baguette, fougasse, high temperature is fine. But a large loaf needs to bake inside. If it's too high, you will burn the outside and it'll be very soggy inside. So we're going to control the temperature like so. So the first one is out. The other one is double the weight, so it's to be another 5-6 minutes in the oven. But this in here, look at this. Look at the color of that crust in here. Oh, it's nice. Beautiful loaf, nice and light. Smell is gorgeous. And the last one, the big one, look at this. So the only thing I've done different on this one, the last 5 minutes I turned the dial down and I put it to about, it was about 170, 180. Just to give that nice crust, a nice finish without coloring too much. Because small oven, domestic oven can be very fierce sometimes. Beautiful crust all the way around. Your sourdough, look at this. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Cool them down and eat now.